what was the balance of pros and cons from that performance and result then?
Look, we asked for a lot of energy. We asked for a bit of passion. We wanted to start well. I think we got the good start after weathering the storm, the breakout try, and then probably a little disappointed though going into half time that the 11 points were probably ones that we'd want to argue the toss with. There was a damn bigger tackled in the air. Unfortunately, a try resulted from that. TMO had called in to say that it was a tackle in the air, but the referee played on. So, you know, you take that aside, and I thought it was a reasonable first half to go into the change room.
How frustrating were the scrum interpretations?
Yeah, well, clearly the team that got the weight through the bind, which was England, was getting rewarded, even though, you know, for me, it's pretty simple. If a prop loses his footing and goes down, he's caused the scrum to go down, and that happened on a couple of occasions. Penalties could have gone either way, and yes, I think 6 points came from that.
England, though, did have a lot of the stats in their favour, didn't they, in terms of possession and metres gained throughout the match. Was that a frustration that you didn't often get on the front foot?
Oh, you got to recognise they're ranked the second best team in the world at the moment, and they came pretty much fully loaded. So we expected it to be a battle, and we expected it to be tough going, and it certainly was that. But I thought the energy that our boys brought, they dug in there in both halves, and we asked for a replication of the first half at half time for the second half. And you know, we got a bit of momentum. We got there and got a few points in that second half from penalties, and yeah, again, just unfortunate that you know, we weren't able to pick up a try when we probably needed to have a real stakeholder in that game.
How much closer are you to knowing your best 15, do you think, than when you came back after the restart?
Well, it's, you know, we're learning about the guys that are available, certainly. You know, there are 5 British Lions unavailable today, I think, and a number of other sort of players that have been, you know, in the foremost of the minds of the selectors, but unfortunately been unavailable. So that's been a little bit frustrating, but obviously, you know, this has been opportunities for some of the guys that you saw tonight and last week. And, you know, I don't think anyone looked out of place there. There's certainly a lot of learnings from a lot of young players that had the opportunity, and, you know, talking to them briefly in the change room, you know, obviously they're disappointed, but they're certainly excited to have been involved in a game like that, and they've learned a lot.
And where do you go in selection for next week? Is it a case of casting the net wider, or just picking your best 15?
No, it'll be on a similar vein as it was to tonight. We'll look at what's available, obviously, and put out a team which we think, you know, we need to, in certain cases, there'll be players we need to learn more about, but in other cases, it'll be obviously form. And regardless of the team we put out this last game, we want to finish on a high and obviously get a result and keep improving.
And finally, from me, the injury situation from today. Lee Halfpenny appeared to get a bit of a bang. Anything else to report?
No, I think this is the first game we've come through with a clean bill of health. So at the moment, anyway, unless someone wakes up a bit sore tomorrow, the change room's looking pretty good.
Hi, Wayne. It's Will here.
How are you, Will?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Is there much point, do you think, talking to World Rugby about the refereeing performance today, or do you just put it down as one of those frustrating afternoons with the whistle going against you?
Well, we've been doing it every week, to be honest. Behind the scenes, it's you know, we review the performances of our players, and also in reviewing matches, we do pick up things that we send through to World Rugby, and we'll certainly be doing that on this particular occasion, because I wasn't happy with the first try of England's, where Dan Biggar was clearly taken in the air. The TMO comes in and calls that, and he's overruled by the man in the middle. We then asked for him, before the conversion was taken, to have a look back, but our captain was dismissed sort of 20 metres away. So that was disappointing. And also the scrums, I think, need to be tidied up, because, you know, there's a lot of resets and there's a lot of scrums, penalties being awarded where we think, in some cases, wrongly.
Another bit of foul play that may have been missed was an Elliot Daly tackle on Josh Adams on this side that we're sitting on. I don't know if you saw that or had a view on that tackle.
Yeah, look, the AR was right there. It was on the far side of the field. We looked at the replay. The question is whether or not he used an arm in the tackle, I guess.
Do you think he did?
I'd have to have a good look at it. I haven't had a good look at it yet.
Just lastly from me, you've performed a bit better today, but it's still 7 defeats from 9 tests under your tenure. Are you making a habit of losing these close games?
I was waiting for that stat to come out. No, look, we're looking at, I sound like a broken record really, but we're looking at this series as an opportunity to, as I say, look at the depth of the squad going forward. I mean, if we took the World Cup squad from 219 to 223, I think there'd be a lot of guys in the age bracket of sort of 33 to 38. So we know that there's going to have to be change, and some of that is happening at the moment. Obviously, some players are unavailable. But so for us, disappointing those numbers that you quoted. But what we're looking at is, are we improving in the areas that we need to, and are we exposing players to this level of the game, and are we building depth?
Hi Wayne, it's Matt here. How are you?
Good, thank you, Matt.
Good. Eddie Jones said England were going to bring an intensity that you'd never seen before. How do you think your players responded to that challenge?
Well, with the side that we put out today, I thought they handled that intensity very well.
And we've talked about the attacking game a lot since you took charge. Why have you sort of been unable to implement that game in the way that you will have wanted to, not really able to cause too many issues at times today?
Yeah, one is the pressure applied by the opposition. Two is the lack of time working together in terms of the combinations with the unavailability of some of the players. So, throw that in the mix, and then there's, it is a change for a lot of people. So skill sets have to be worked on, and it does take a bit of time.
Just finally from me, a word for James Botham, obviously a young man with a big future. That would have been the biggest game of his life so far. How do you think he handled it?
Look, I thought he did well, and other young players did well as well. But he is a player of the future. He'll be much better for these couple of games that he's had. He would have learnt a lot, but he certainly was excited by the opportunity, and I think he thoroughly enjoyed the full 80 minutes.
Hi Wayne, it's Beth, ITV, you all right? Just to know, given the criticism over the last few weeks and, the pre-match kind of predictions of this game, how pleased were you about how your players kind of stood up? Because it was a better performance, and actually given everything that's kind of been said about the team, how proud are you that they've kind of taken another step forward into what you want them to play like?
Yeah, well, I take note of the players, and listening to the players after the game in the change room and Alan Wynne-Jones speak, very pleased that they believe that we're heading in the right direction. They believe that the work that has gone in the last few weeks in particular is slowly, we're seeing some of the fruits of that labour really. Today it was more about how the defence was operating with the amount of territory that we had against us and possessions. So all in all, I think to see an England side ranked second in the world with a team they put out taking shots at goal, I think that was a sign of the respect they held for the way the boys played tonight.
What did Alan Wynne say in particular? Anything, or was it just his typical motivational way?
No, it was at the end of it was after the match in the changing room. So it was around the fact that he believes that we're heading in the right direction and it's not far away, and that we've just got to keep working very, very hard together as a group and believing in what we're doing. And but he believes that we're heading in the right direction, and that's what it's going to take: more time, more hard work.
Given that Eddie Jones has been building this team for 4 years, do you feel that you're at the very beginning of the journey? Can you take some good stuff out of today? Oh,
very much so. Eddie and I had a good chat about it before the game, and coaches understand what coaches go through. So no, it was a good conversation. And look, they have been building for a long time, and they're a great side at the moment. And we want to be a great side in 2023.
Just one last one from me. Everyone in the Welsh public's dying to see Lewis Rees-Zammit in his full kind of flow. He got a couple of touches on the ball, but do you feel that Wales need to get the ball out to him more often?
Oh, it's not through a want of trying, but it's a quality of ball that we've got to get. And at the moment, that's a work in progress for us. But certainly, there's errors in our game at the moment which is not allowing that flow which he desperately needs. We've got a little bit of momentum after half time and created a couple of penalties which we scored from. But, apart from that, it was a very tough day at the office, but one where I thought the boys rolled their sleeves up and acquitted themselves well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Wayne, Alex here. Just one question from me on the scrums. You've talked about your frustration and is this a bit of a recurring theme? So if we go back to the France game, which seems forever ago, there was you had issues there as well. I mean, is this something that the Wales have an issue with at all?
No, this was a totally different set of circumstances, different referee. And I think it was pretty clear for everyone to see that when they got the weight through the bind and they won the engagement, that every penalty went their way. So it was pictures that the referee was seeing felt that they were the dominant scrum, but on the engagement, both teams are supposed to be square and stable, and that wasn't the case. So we'd have liked the scrums to be either reset or then free kick for doing that.